Today is July 24th, 2021. You're looking at a 2007 RoadTrek 210 Versatile that is built on a 2006 Chevy Express van chassis, as most anybody that's in RoadTrek or Pleasureway or whatever, they're sort of familiar with either the Dodge or the Chevy chassis, or Ford, and so on. Anyway, this is a 2006 Chevy Express van chassis. And I had a prior RoadTrek 3 years ago that was a 2009, built on a 2008 Chevy Express van. That particular home had already installed in the dash a CD DVD player Bluetooth unit that malfunctioned, so I replaced it when I was on the road. They're extremely difficult to get a hold of now, and because of COVID and chip technology and lack of the food supply or the supply chain itself. But I wanted to have a backup camera similar to what was on the 2009, which had in the back a third brake light above the two doors, the split doors at the back. So I wanted to have that, not knowing what the brand was at the time. I discovered online a company called EchoMaster. That is what this is right here. This particular model is an EV/GM006 for a Chevy Express van. This third brake light has a camera in it, and you will see that I've mounted this on the top of the home. I mean, right above. They replaced the original GM brake unit right there. But above that, you'll see another camera. By the way, this EchoMaster camera that does rotate on here, it does rotate so that you can adjust for the degree, the angle. I wanted to see in particular the trailer hitch. And it is a little difficult to see from the distance, but it does allow you to line up if you ever decide to pull a trailer. The additional camera that's on top of there is a modified camera, at least the base. It was designed to fit on a license plate, the holes in the license plate. But I made a bracket to mount off that, so you'll see the wire. This is fed through the length of the home, similar to this third brake light. Since one wasn't installed, I had no choice but to run the cable that came with the EchoMaster. Was 30 meters long, more than adequate for this 20-foot long, 22-foot long motorhome. Only needed about 16 foot of cable, but I did mount that in here. But in addition, you're going to see my going inside relatively soon here. This is the camera that I ended up installing in the 2009 motorhome, and I like the viewing screen. It's a 7-inch monitor. This is made by Peak, that no longer makes this camera, but you can still find them online on eBay. This particular model number was a PKC0RC, and it comes with this camera, which I shortened the width of this to fit my bracket, which is 4 inches wide. I cut it down to size, ran the cable through the home, and what it has is a transmitter that the first cable connects to. You'll see that in a minute. How I wanted to mount this particular camera comes with 2 nylon straps, quick release buckles. I didn't want to use that. I had to attach it to the cabinet door that's above the driver's head before. And I did do that, but instead I used 2 metal straps. I had a bunch of these left over from some other electrical work I've done in my home. One strap, a 1/2 inch, one strap hole. And you'll see what had happened here in a second when we come into the home. You'll see this now. The location of that monitor is directly above the driver's head right here. Those 2 brackets, you'll see the top here. That's how I mounted those, because on the back side of this monitor are 4 recessed holes for the nylon straps to go through. I didn't use the nylon straps. I wanted to have a bit of an angle on it. So this top cable is for the EchoMaster camera. This one is the power to this monitor that is actually wireless. It picks up the signal from this little transmitter right here, right up in here. So one cable goes to the front, the other goes to the back of the home to the camera, this transmitter. But what I wanted to mount actually 2 monitors, using one separate for the EchoMaster, one for the Peak camera. But what I found was this is older technology. It's an analog signal, according to Peak. and it's not digital. So I couldn't see, it wouldn't differentiate between the two views. What popped up on the screen was the same on both. But what I did, and the guy said, well, you can't do that. I said, well, really? So what I did was I ran a toggle switch for power to this unit. You'll see the light should come on. You see right now, this is the view from the EchoMaster, the lower camera in the rear. This other toggle switch is for the transmitter, mounted up here. It relays a signal to the upper camera. So you see how this view has changed. This is now coming from the upper camera, from the peak camera. So one monitor, I'm able to view both. I'm going to turn this off. You'll see it should revert back to the, give it a second to warm up here. This is now back to the other view. So this allows me to back up. But the reason for this other camera, one above, that I did in 2009 is because I do not like the split in the door that you see through the rear view mirror. You'll see this split in the door. So if you're looking, if you want a clear view right in the middle here, you can't see it. So that's why I did the third camera like this. I actually bought several of these online. You can get them fairly reasonable. If the monitor goes bad, if the transmitter goes bad, I've got replacement parts. But you see the cable that I ran, I drilled some holes large enough to fit this flex split cable cover. So both the cables, for the peak camera as well as for the EchoMaster camera are feed through this. Goes to the rear. Actually, this one goes to the rear, then it branches off to go up to the transmitter. I had to remove, in this case, this is a versatile, so I had to remove the coffee maker to get through. Came through, you'll see some other stuff in here, but it's behind all this storage. I had to take the microwave down and then fed this cable all the way from there to the rear and up through the back of this home. It does take a little bit of finagling to do, but I'm happy with the result. Again, this is a 2010 Versatile, but you could do this in a 2010 Popular, a 190, or almost anything. But it is possible, using two toggle switches, to use the same monitor for both cameras. And again, this is the peak wireless camera right here. This is one of the spares I've got. This is a little wiring diagram that I came up with for mounting the two toggle switches, if you will. That's when I had two transmitters, or I was going to use two transmitters, but I took one down. So the cameras and so on. So anyway, hope this might help for anybody that's looking to mount two cameras. This is a peak monitor with a peak transmitter, peak camera in the back, but an additional camera is EchoMaster that replaces the third light. It's got a rotational type camera in it, so you can view down to the trailer hitch as well as straight out if you don't want to mount the peak camera back there. Hope that helps. Thanks.